Okay, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Wednesday morning, man. Uh, yeah, feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. So today we have the Fayetteville route. Uh, and one of the customers had called me and said, I told you yesterday about the crepe myrtles, and they had somebody trim them, and they cut the yard too. I guarantee they probably cut that back field area too. That they never want to pay me to do it. Sometimes these customers, man, you'll go broke if you depend 100% on some of the customers, right? I mean, they don't want you to get any. All they want to do is not. Most customers aren't like this, but a lot of them are. All they want to do is try to just, well, if you go up on their number, they want you to do more stuff. If you do that, then you're not really going up. If I'm charging somebody $100, and then they say, and then I say, okay, I need to get 120. They'll say, okay, Ray, I'll do the 120. You think you guys could weed eat the wood line, if I go up to 120? Well, oh no, and now we're at 130, 140. Because if I'm charging you an extra 20 and then I do more work, then it's not extra no more. And my customers, for the most part, are really good, but there are a few that are notorious for that. They will browbeat you down to where you ain't making nothing. So I had one of the guys come in the comments, and I appreciate the comment, man. And I think Richie Potts or whatever. I think I can't. I don't want to look on the phone right now. He came into the comments and he was saying, damn, Ray, she's been your customer for 10 years, and you're going to charge her $700 to remove that tree limb. I mean, it's basically a tree. I mean, and if it was laying on the ground, it'd be totally, I would probably charge her. If it was laying on the ground, to cut it up, take it to the dump and all that, I will probably charge her around $500, $550. But to get it on the ground, there's a sketch fee there. And for me, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. But when guys come in the comments and they say, well, damn, Ray, you gonna charge her $700 for that? That's a lot of money, man, for that little bit. And then, when people say that to me, I have to internally look, right? And so I look in the mirror, and when I saw the comment, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, well, let's see, maybe I am too expensive, right? Maybe 700 is too much. So I go on. So I'm thinking about it for a second before I respond. I used to just respond to comments right off the cuff, but I try to do a little more thinking, because now to make sure that I'm interpreting the comment correctly. But when guys make comments and they say, you're charging too much, but they don't say why. They don't say how. They don't break it down. Okay, if 700 is too much, well, what would you charge, right? And what method would you use to come to that number? How would you come to whatever number you came up with? In my comment, and maybe I'll put it up here, in my comment, I put down the method, my thinking behind how I got to $700. And if somebody else came in and said, hey, I can do it for $5, or coming in my comments and telling me, well, man, 500 or 400 or whatever. Okay, I'm not saying 400 is expensive or not expensive, but how'd you come up with 400 or 500? I'm telling you how I came up with 7. And this is not a dig. This is not an anger. This is not me being a smart aleck. This is not anything. I'm trying to learn. What would make you think that 700 is too much? And I'm not saying it's not. It could be, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. But when guys make a comment like that, and then and then I put in there the why, the how I got to that number, the why I got to that number, then nobody breaks down how they got to their number. And how am I supposed to learn if nobody breaks down how they got to their number? Because I guarantee you, when you break it all the way down and you're in business, your number's going to be really close to mine. A couple other things that come into play that we got to think about when we're talking about work like that in the middle of the summer. Well, if I go over there and do that cheap, right? Number one, I know that the dump is 45 minutes away. And that's one way. And the dump location is off to the side. It's not even around. If I went over there solo and I got it down and dragged it to the woods with a lawnmower, okay. I mean, maybe I'm at 400 then. But when you start talking about hauling stuff off, where I have to bring another truck, another trailer, and all that, and pay another guy, oh no. Now, if it was in the middle of the winter, I still wouldn't do it for 400. There ain't no way. I love this kind of stuff, y'all. I love it because it helps me learn, right? But I don't learn nothing if you just come in the comments and say, well, Ray, that's too much. That you're not helping me. You know, there'd be no more than me telling you Exmart's the best mower on the market and not telling you why I think that. I'm always going to tell you the why. People in business, they want to know the why. You know, if I was, 16 years old, then I might not give a damn about the why. But I want to know why and how you came up with this or that. And when it comes to pricing, and when somebody tells me I'm too expensive, I like to find out, okay, maybe I am. Let's see if I can get better. Tell me why. Tell me how you think that. And then most of the time, not all the time, but then most of the time, nobody ever comes back and breaks it down how they came up with the number that they came up with. And how am I supposed to learn like that, man? I can't learn like that. And it's easy to come in the comments and say you're too high, or Skag's better than Exmark, or Ford is not as good as Chevy, or whatever. But nobody telling me why. I mean, how do you come up with that? It's just it's a wasted statement if you don't tell somebody like me anyway the why. I'm always telling you guys the why. Why I did this, why I did that, how I came up with this number. So Jay Myers was asking me about the if I ever tried a bad boy. No, I haven't never tried a bad boy. I will say, like I said in the video the other day, there's not a bad boy dealer anywhere. The only bad boy place I know to buy a bad boy mower is at Tractor Supply, I think. I don't know. I think they used to be a retailer for them. And at the end of the day, y'all know, I mean, I'm not going to change mowers. I'm not going to go from wheel tires to air tires either. I mean, that's just, one guy came in, and I'm not, no disrespect or nothing, come in and said he thought that wheel tires were way overrated. I won't have a mower without them, so I won't. Any mower I ever buy from 2020 forward, they're gonna have twills on them. I've never known nobody to actually, put twills on their mower and actually use the twills and then go back to air tires and just and say they don't like the twills better. I've never heard nobody say that. I might be wrong, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, or I just ain't gonna have a mower without twills, y'all. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, there's so many things you don't have to worry about, man. You don't have. Just the other day, man, when I was in a backyard, I was going through a little tight little spot, right? And blades aren't spinning or nothing, and I rubbed up against a rock, And hell, that rock might have punctured a damn air tire. It might have. And then the notion that just put less air in the tires, in the air tires, and it's the same thing. It's not even close to the same. Have you ever seen, I want you guys to look, and maybe I'll show y'all today for the newer guys and the guys that are anti-twills. A twill tire sits on the ground flat. When it's on a mower, like it's on a trailer, the weight-bearing part of the twill is flat against the trailer floor. Flat. So, almost like a piece of a track. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. Air tires aren't even, I mean, dude, most people that say that, man, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, most people that say that ain't never had twill tires on their mowers. Like I said, I ain't never known nobody to reel back from the twill tires once they have had, got them. Not to mention all the things that traction is one, but say they're the suckiest traction ever. I still would buy them because of the no flat, the no air pressure, and we cut a lot of roadsides and stuff. I'll run over anything with my mower with the twill tires. You don't have to think about nothing. You don't have to worry about, hey, can you go up in that area right there, Ray, and hit that right there for $100 real quick? Yeah, I can. But if you got air tires, you might want to think twice about it because you might puncture the sidewall or something. You just never know. You're not going to have any of that on the wheels. So it's easily a no-brainer. But they are expensive, I'll say that, but they're worth every freaking penny, man. Every penny to me. Can do more volume with twills, I think. And you're a lot more likely to take on sketchier stuff too, I think. At least for me. Now, the lawn mowers that I have, they're the Exmark's top mowers. Y'all know I brag about them all the time. But make no mistake, these are money-making equipment. And I'm not going to shy away too tough from putting it in things that I know that I can cut with it. I'm not worried about, the appearance of cutting anything. I'm not going to worry about the appearance of like me cutting the bush hog and that stuff the other day. I'm not going to worry about what that looks like on YouTube. Because at the end of the day, whether it's a $10,000 mower, a $15,000 mower, a $20,000 lawnmower, or whatever, they money-making machines. And that's what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to make money with them. Because they cost too much not to. They cost too much to be sitting pretty on a trailer and scared to scratch it. I'm going to overcome all of that by making more money with it. I can just go buy another one when I feel like it. And that's how I have accumulated the equipment. A lot of guys ask me all the time, or come at me a lot of times, you ain't this and you ain't that. I've accumulated a lot of equipment, and how I have. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, and I didn't know it was a secret, but it was to me before I learned this. Don't buy cheap equipment, because if you buy cheap equipment, it may not last. See, I don't worry about mowers lasting. And that's how, the only way to accumulate equipment in this game and make money with it at the same time is not to buy cheap shit. Because you buy cheap shit, you're steadily in and out of the shop, steadily having to play with it. Meanwhile, while you're playing with all that, figuring it all out, trying to go to the shop, trying to buy parts, trying to do this, trying to do that, I'm making money with mine and don't give a damn. I mean, we'll put that, and yeah. And by the time these mowers tear up, and y'all see, I put them in everything. By the time these mowers tear up, I done paid for them 3 times with the money that I'm making from doing the sketchy stuff. And just FYI, I think I said it yesterday, I got 4 Laser Z Exmark, Laser Z X Series 60-inch deck mowers. I got 4 of them. And I have never sold one of them. Never. And they all run. I can make money with every one of them right now. And one of them is and y'all see the kind of stuff I put them in. Ain't nothing changed. I'm a little bit better now about method of putting them in stuff, but I've always put them in some crazy stuff. I got an old computer here that's got a bunch of videos on it before I started doing YouTube. I'm going to take the computer and it crashed on me. I'm going to take the computer to the computer shop and I'm going to get all the videos off of that computer. And y'all will see, I've cut stuff taller than my fence right here with the Exmark Laser Z with that one that surges now. So, and did not have 12 tires. I've just never, you know, I don't know. I've just never really been concerned about what I put the mower in. Because if I decide to put it in there, it's making money, and that's what I buy them for. I didn't buy them just to look pretty and to go do mom and pop $60 yards. I bought them to move mountains if that's what I can get with them. But anyway, here comes Schlepp Rock, looking all schleppy. Okay, y'all. So he's got a big limb down. He told me that he'd give me $40 if I would bring it over here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Same rope I use. Always good to have rope out here with you. Okay, y'all see how big this tree is? So I would be at the same number to get this down, cut up, and just lay it in the woods. That's just what it takes, man. So now, well, if I had to haul it off, I'd be at 700. For me to cut it and do it like I did this, I'd probably charge her about 150 bucks, man. But I'd cut it in like 3 pieces and then use the mowers. Y'all know. Y'all seen it before, dog. Okay, y'all, I gotta put the camera down. I gotta do a little bit of spray. She's gonna pay me extra 60 to spray. So, yeah. Okay, y'all. So, here is another tree. That's the tree over there for the neighbor. And this is another one. A lot of times, you can get the neighbors to pitch in and it doesn't kill nobody. So it's a pretty big tree, man. It just had a storm come through here and broke that one off. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. Yeah.
Couple of cold in the phone. Gotta get it over here before the sun goes down. Ain't got nothing much planned to do. Snuggle up, just me and you. Watch the stars come out as the sun goes down. And then it's slow kissing, fast breathing, hearts beating to the sound of the radio. Baby, let's go. Then it's a long night, country living is the only way I know.
All right, y'all, the bell finally broke, man. Y'all heard it break. So I'm just gonna hop on the other mower and finish up the name of the other mower. Okay, y'all, I know a lot of your yards, like this yard right here, he don't want to edge it or nothing. But y'all see how this Bermuda creeps along the edge here? So basically what I'm doing here is I just dropped the deck down, got my foot on the pedal, and I'm just putting the open end right up on the curb just to pick up some of the stragglers. And I just go down one time and come back. It's just I mean, he doesn't want to pay to edge it. And we're not going to edge that every time if he's not going to pay us. So then I come back down it, and y'all see I got it right on there. Y'all see that? And then you just, and that it's better than nothing. I'm gonna put it like that. Yeah, it's not a stick edger, but it's better than nothing. And it took less than a minute total. So yeah. Better than it was, and I would do it like 2 or 3 times with a mower just to kind of just keep going over it. But yeah, that's a wrap on the day, man. It's 2:30. Yeah, we got everything done. We haven't had any rain. We got a little bit of a storm last night, but it wasn't much of nothing. And well, what's going to happen is we are going to run out of work. That's what's going to happen, because usually I anticipate at least 1 day a week rain, you know, and you know, having Phil come over the weekend, well, I'm doing too much work at the end of the day for where the business is right now, you know, so it's kind of hard to explain, man. If I don't know, man. I'm just gun shy about getting a whole lot of work that I can't do. With my history of labor and all, I just kind of, I don't know, just ride the fence, if you will, and be super efficient at everything. Cam is just now catching on to all the little things that he needs to know on these properties that we're doing. So it's not, you know, so we're able to do the properties a lot faster. So, and then I'm incorporating Phil, you know, a day or two a week too. And I'm the only constant. I'm running wide open every day. Well, you ain't got to. I know, but I'm always afraid that I'm going to get behind. And I like to stay ahead of the game, man. I'm like that in every part of my life, though. When it comes to my bills, I like to stay ahead of the game. When it comes to maintenance on the machines, I like to stay ahead of the game. When it comes to, you know, pulling the trigger on something or not, I like to stay ahead of the game. I don't wait till my back's on the wall and then try to figure shit out. I'm always scratching and clawing, y'all, scratching and clawing. So yeah, man. Today was not as profitable as we've been because we had to drive so much. I mean, we probably put 60 miles on the truck. You know, we probably grossed around 900, but it cost me more today. So if I profited 500 a day, that'd be great. I said profit now. I had to pick up my aunt's lawnmower. Her lawnmower went down and she wanted me to look at it. The deck is got a busted weld on it, so it's just a matter of well, we got to weld the deck back, and I don't really have time, man. In order to get her mower on my trailer, I had to leave my mower, one of my mowers at her house, man. But we're going to be right back over to that general area tomorrow, so I just figured we'd swing by there and pick it up. So one of the guys was asking me in the comments, you know, how do I level the decks on the mowers? I've never leveled a deck, y'all. Not ever. I'm just being 100% honest with you. I think a lot of people that get into this game, I don't know, man, they do overkill stuff. You know, I mean, I don't want to, and I'm not calling nobody out, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just don't do overkill stuff. I've seen videos where guys, when to know to adjust the valves on your blower. I ain't never adjusted the valves on no blower, man. I use the blower, make money with it, and then I buy another one. You know, I'm not taking the blower apart and all that crap, man. I mean, it's just according to how you want to spend your time. I'd rather just buy a new blower. That's me, because usually by the time the blowers start acting up, I done made $10,000, $15,000 with them. I mean, you know, and you have to damn just invest. I've never taken a weed eater or anything to the dealer to fix, unless it was a warranty thing, a recall, or something like that. Usually by the time the steel stuff that I get, usually by the time it starts acting up, it's beat all to hell and back. You ready to buy another one. I'm not wanting to adjust the valves on nothing and all that. You know, but like I've seen videos, and if you go YouTube it, you see adjusting the valves on a BR 700 blower. I couldn't imagine doing that, man. I mean, I know somebody gonna tell me how easy it is, but I don't want to even fool with that. I'll just keep using it until it starts leaking oil or something. And then we'll just buy another one, because they're disposable. If you're in this game for any period of time, this handheld equipment and stuff, you know when it's time to buy another one. Like, you know, Chad bought an edger and a weed eater yesterday or day before yesterday or whatever. See, before I go to critiquing all the, you know, everything that could possibly be wrong with something, I just buy another one, man, because we're making money. You got to keep in mind, we're making money with this stuff. And I spend an hour and a half adjusting the valves only to get out on the job, and then something else mess up on it. Because usually by that time, it's ragged out anyway. I'm talking about for the handheld stuff, you know, the weed eaters, edgers, and blowers. It's not a big believer of putting those things in the shop when you can buy a brand new one for $350. And if you got a blower where you done dogged it out to the point of where it needs valves, you know, you probably don't made enough money with it where you can swing and pull the trigger on another one if you're smart with your money. Now, if you've just taking your money and going to the club every night, well, I can see that. But I spend my money on equipment, man. If it don't make money for me, I don't want to buy it. And I don't want to spend time on stuff that ain't making me money either. Well, Ray, if you adjust the valves, fix the valves on a blower, then you saving money, but you ain't gotta buy a new one. Well, I might not have to buy a new one that week, but eventually I will have to buy a new one. So I just run it until it won't run no more. But usually it's dogged out by then, though. It's bleached out from the sun, because it's hot down here where I'm at, y'all. I don't know about where everybody else is, boy, but it's hot, man.
Oh, no neon. Yay.
Are they not neon?
No, they're beautiful.
You said that about the neon. Who's in there?
One of my tenants, Deb. She came to say she was going to use the garbage. And she said, I'm going out this door because I don't want your husband to see me.
Why?
Because she said I look awful. She's cleaning her office.
Hmm.
I'll buy you this hat that I saw off TikTok that looks like a hat that's got fans built in.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear all that shit.
And then another guy, did you do good today?
Yeah. But I'll use the skid, and I'll get a video of that when I do it. I'll use the skid to pick this mower, my aunt's mower, up in the air. I'm gonna look at it and see. It might be easier just to take the damn deck off. But usually the homeowner mowers, y'all, are a lot more difficult to work on than the commercial ones. I've taken the decks off these Exmarks. Another reason why I like the same mowers, because there ain't nothing on these Exmarks that I can't fix or replace. Nothing. Myself, personally. I've put an engine on one before. Personally, myself. All you do is just buy a crate engine, man, and make sure it's got the Exmark wiring harness. That's it. 4 bolts. Take the old clutch, take the clutch off of the one that you got, and put it on the spline of the new one. Yeah, pretty easy to do. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Sammy time hump day, y'all. I kick it.